There's a war happening in your backyard right now, and you're losing. Every morning, you walk outside, and there they are, anthills, little mounds of dirt pushing up through your grass, between your patio pavers, along your driveway, next to your foundation. You stomp on one. It's back tomorrow. You spray it with poison. It moves 3 feet to the left and rebuilds. You pour boiling water on it. The ants scatter, wait 48 hours, and come right back. You've spent $20, $30, maybe $50 on ant sprays, ant traps, ant granules. Those products with pictures of dead ants on the box and promises of colony elimination in 24 hours. And every single one of them failed. Not because the chemicals don't kill ants. They do. They kill the ants that touch them, but they don't kill the colony. And as long as the queen is alive, buried somewhere underground, producing thousands of eggs per day, the ants will keep coming, no matter how many workers you kill on the surface. Today, I'm going to show you how to kill the queen. Not by digging up the colony, not by pumping poison into the ground, by tricking the ants into carrying a weapon directly to her. A weapon that costs less than $1. A weapon that's sitting in your kitchen right now, and a weapon that's so safe you could eat it for breakfast. Actually, you probably have eaten it for breakfast. Because it's baking soda. But don't run to your kitchen yet. Because if you just sprinkle baking soda on an anthill, nothing will happen. The ants will walk around it, they'll ignore it completely, and you'll think I lied to you. I didn't lie. You just need the second ingredient, the trigger. The thing that turns harmless baking soda into an ant colony assassin. And that ingredient is just as cheap and just as common. But before I give you the recipe, you need to understand something about ants that most people don't know. Because once you understand this, you'll understand exactly why this method works and why expensive ant poisons often fail. Ants don't eat randomly. They're not wandering around your yard looking for whatever they bump into. They're organized, devastatingly organized. An ant colony operates like a military supply chain. Scout ants go out first. They search for food sources. When a scout finds something promising, she marks the trail with pheromones, chemical signals that other ants can follow. Worker ants follow the pheromone trail to the food source. They collect it, they carry it back to the colony, and they feed it to the queen, the larvae, and the other workers who stay underground. This is the key. Workers don't eat first. They carry food back to share. This behavior is called trophallaxis, and it's the Achilles heel of the entire colony. Because if you can make a bait that workers pick up, carry home, and feed to the queen, you don't need to find the queen. You don't need to dig up the colony. You don't need to know where it is. The workers do all the work for you. They deliver the weapon directly to the target. And that's exactly what commercial ant baits try to do. The expensive ones, the $15 stations you buy at the hardware store. They contain a slow-acting poison mixed with an attractant. Workers find it, carry it home, share it, and the colony dies from the inside out. The problem? Most people don't use baits. They use sprays, contact killers, the ones that kill ants on sight. And those sprays are the worst thing you can do. Here's why. When you spray a contact killer on an ant trail, you kill every ant you can see. Satisfying, right? But you've just done two terrible things. First, you've killed the workers who were about to lead you to the colony. Those workers were your map. Now the map is gone. Second, the colony detects the chemical and moves the queen to a new location deeper underground or further away. You've pushed the enemy into hiding, and you've killed your own scouts. This is why spraying never works long term. You're killing messengers and alerting the enemy. It's the worst possible military strategy. The right strategy? Baiting. Feed them something they want, let them carry it home, let them share it, and let it destroy them from the inside. If you watched my last video about mosquitoes, you know this channel is about one thing: replacing expensive products that don't work with cheap kitchen ingredients that do. Last week was garlic for mosquitoes, This week is baking soda for ants. Same philosophy, different pest. Subscribe now if you haven't, because next week is wasps. And the method I found for wasps is the one that scares me the most, in a good way. You don't want to miss it. Now, the recipe, the colony killer. 2 ingredients, equal parts, that's it. Baking soda, sodium bicarbonate, the orange box in your kitchen, $1 at any grocery store. And powdered sugar, confectioner's sugar, the fine dusty kind you put on pancakes or donuts. About $2 for a bag that will last you an entire summer of ant warfare. Mix them together in equal parts, 1 cup of baking soda, 1 cup of powdered sugar. Stir until completely combined. You want the 2 powders to be inseparable. Every grain of sugar should have baking soda stuck to it. Every grain of baking soda should have sugar stuck to it. Why powdered sugar instead of regular granulated sugar? Because this is the detail that makes or breaks the entire method. And it's the detail that nobody on the internet explains properly. Ants are smart. If you use regular granulated sugar, the crystals are big enough that ants can physically separate the sugar from the baking soda. They'll pick up the sugar crystals and leave the baking soda behind. They can tell the difference by size and texture. Powdered sugar has the same particle size as baking soda. The grains are so fine that ants cannot distinguish between them. They pick up both together. They carry both home together. They feed both to the queen together. This is why people try baking soda and sugar and say it doesn't work. They used granulated sugar, the ants ate the sugar and left the baking soda, the colony survived, and the person went online and wrote, "Baking soda is a myth." It's not a myth. They used the wrong sugar. Now here's what happens inside the ant when it eats baking soda. Ants have a unique digestive system. Their stomachs contain formic acid. It's the same acid that makes ant bites sting. When baking soda, which is a base, meets formic acid, which is an acid, a chemical reaction occurs. The reaction produces carbon dioxide gas. Humans burp. We release gas all the time. No big deal. But ants can't burp. They don't have the physical mechanism to expel gas from their digestive tract. The carbon dioxide builds up inside them, pressure increases, and the ant dies. It's not instant. It takes hours, sometimes a full day. And that delay is crucial. Because if the baking soda killed instantly, the worker would die before reaching the colony. The queen would never get the bait. The slow kill gives workers time to carry the mixture home, share it through trophallaxis, and feed it to the queen before the effects kick in. The queen eats, the queen dies, the colony collapses. Application, where to put it and how much. Don't dump the mixture on top of anthills. I know that's your instinct. Big pile right on the mound. But that's wrong. Here's why. When you disturb an anthill, the colony goes into emergency mode. Workers grab the queen and the larvae and evacuate deeper or to a secondary location. They'll avoid the area you dumped powder on for days. Your bait sits there unused while the colony rebuilds elsewhere. Instead, place small piles of the mixture near ant trails. Not on the trail, near it, within about 6 inches. You want the scout ants to discover it naturally without feeling threatened. Put it where you see ants walking in a line, along walls, along the edges of pavers, near cracks in the driveway, near the foundation of your house. Use small amounts. A tablespoon per location. You're not building mountains, you're setting traps. 10 small piles around your yard are more effective than 1 big pile on the anthill. If it's going to rain, place the mixture in shallow bottle caps or small plastic lids to keep it dry. Rain dissolves the sugar and washes away the baking soda before ants can collect it. Dry bait lasts longer and stays attractive. Timeline. What to expect. Day 1. Ants discover the bait. You'll see them swarming the piles. This is good. This is exactly what you want. They're collecting it and carrying it home. Don't spray them. Don't stop them. Let them work. They're delivering your weapon. Days 2 through 3. Ant activity around the bait piles decreases. Not because they lost interest, but because workers are dying inside the colony. Fewer workers means fewer trips to the surface. The colony is shrinking. Days 3 through 5, the ant trails thin dramatically. Mounds stop growing. You might see dead ants near the entrance of the colony. The baking soda is working its way through the colony from worker to worker to queen. Days 5 through 7, the mound is abandoned. No activity, no ants. The colony is dead. If you still see activity after 7 days, replenish the bait piles and wait another week. Some large colonies have multiple queens and take longer to collapse. 2 rounds of baiting handles even the largest colonies. Now let me tell you something that makes this even more effective. A combination move that creates a complete ant elimination system. The baking soda and sugar bait kills colonies from the inside. But what about preventing new colonies from establishing? What about the ants that wander in from your neighbor's yard? Diatomaceous earth. Food-grade diatomaceous earth. A fine white powder made from fossilized microscopic algae. It costs about $4 for a bag that lasts all summer. Diatomaceous earth works completely differently from baking soda. It doesn't poison ants, it dehydrates them. The microscopic particles have razor-sharp edges that cut through the waxy coating on an ant's exoskeleton. Without that coating, the ant loses moisture rapidly and dies within 24 to 48 hours. Sprinkle diatomaceous earth around the perimeter of your yard, along the foundation of your house, around the edges of your patio, any border area where ants cross from outside your property to inside it. This creates a death barrier. Any ant that walks through the diatomaceous earth picks up particles that slowly dehydrate it. The ant doesn't die immediately, which means it carries the particles back to the colony and spreads them to other ants through contact. Baking soda bait on the inside killing existing colonies, diatomaceous earth barrier on the perimeter preventing new ones. Total cost? About $5. Total effort? 20 minutes, twice per season. Compare that to a professional exterminator. A single ant treatment runs $100 to $200, and they'll tell you it needs to be repeated quarterly, $400 to $800 per year. For chemicals that do the same thing as your baking soda and diatomaceous earth, just in fancier packaging. Let me address some questions. Is this safe for pets? Yes. Both baking soda and powdered sugar are food grade and non-toxic to dogs and cats. Your dog might lick the bait piles because of the sugar. That's fine. The amount of baking soda in a tablespoon of mixture won't hurt a dog. It might cause mild stomach upset if they eat a lot, but nothing dangerous. Diatomaceous earth is also food grade and pet safe. Once settled, don't let pets inhale the dust during application, but once it's on the ground, it's harmless. Is this safe for kids? Same answer. Food grade ingredients. Not toxic, but as with anything, don't let toddlers eat handfuls of any powder. Does it kill beneficial insects? The bait is specific to ants because ants are the only insects that practice trophallaxis at this scale. Other insects might eat some sugar but won't carry it back to a colony. Diatomaceous earth is less selective. It can affect any insect that walks through it. So apply it to border areas, not to flower beds where pollinators are active. Will it kill fire ants? Yes. Fire ants are particularly susceptible because their colonies are large, well-organized, and practice extensive trophallaxis. The baking soda bait reaches more individuals in a fire ant colony than in smaller ant species. If you're in the South dealing with fire ants, this method is one of the most effective non-chemical options available. One thing this method does not do well is kill carpenter ants. Carpenter ants have different dietary preferences and are less attracted to sugar baits. If you have carpenter ants, which you'll recognize by sawdust piles near wood structures, you need a protein-based bait. I'll cover carpenter ants in a dedicated video. Let me tell you what happened in my own yard. I had 3 ant hills in my backyard, one near the patio, one in the middle of the lawn, one along the fence. I'd been fighting them for 2 summers with spray. Every time I sprayed, they moved. I was playing whack-a-mole with insects. I mixed baking soda and powdered sugar, equal parts, placed small piles near each visible trail, and then I did the hardest thing of all. Nothing. I left them alone. I watched ants swarm the piles, and I didn't spray. I didn't stomp. I just watched them carry my weapon home. Day 3, the patio colony went quiet. Day 5, the lawn colony stopped. Day 7, the fence colony was abandoned. All 3, gone, for 5 cents worth of baking soda and sugar. That was 3 months ago. None of them have come back. Because there's nothing to come back. The queens are dead. The colonies are dead. There's no one left to rebuild. 5 cents, 3 colonies, 0 ants. Here's what I want you to do right now. Go to your kitchen, get the baking soda, get the powdered sugar, mix them, place them near ant trails, and come back to this video in 1 week and tell me what happened. Drop a comment right now telling me how many ant hills you have in your yard. 1, 5, 20? I want to know how big this problem is for everyone. And when you come back in a week with your results, your comment becomes proof that this works. For every person who finds this video next month, next year, your comment is the evidence they need to try it themselves. Subscribe, because next week is wasps, and the week after that is ticks, and the week after that is slugs. Every pest in your yard is getting its own video, and every video is going to save you money and eliminate a problem that expensive products couldn't solve. See you next week. Go mix that powder.